Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of my career mode series with QPR. And we've just come off the back of a defeat against Chelsea at home. 3-1 we lost to Tarap getting our goal for us, but unfortunately we couldn't pick up a point or 3 points at all. So I mean, when you come up against the sides like Chelsea, Man City, Arsenal, just any of the the top 4, top 6 sort of teams, you really can't go in expecting to come out with points. Although I'm always disappointed because especially at home it would have been fantastic if I could pick up at least 1 point and have a draw at home, but it wasn't to be. Anyways, I had my Capital One Cup game and it was against Middlesbrough. A quick few substitutions because in fixtures like these are the times when you want to use your substitutes or reserves just to give them a bit of first team experience, gain them a bit of decent morale so they're not too disheartened that they're not going to be getting a chance in the first team, and just generally rotate players if some of them don't have are lacking a bit of fitness, put them in, or they've had two, let's say 5 games back to back. You really just want to be able to rest them. But how about that from Cisse? Wow, what a brilliant goal that was. A nice little Ronaldo chop inside to cut inside into the box, and he just rocketed that into the back of the net, and that's what Cisse is really good at. He's got really good shots on him, and a nice ball through, but unfortunately just couldn't go past the keeper, and Cisse there was a little bit unlucky. But I started off with Johnson and Cisse. Cisse managed to get his first goal, so I decided I'd bring Matic on. I really do want to improve him as a player, and I made a few other substitutions because it felt, even though we were only about 30 minutes into the game, I did feel as though I was in good control, and it was important that I was rotating players because substitutions are things that I don't necessarily do too often in this game. I certainly don't do it when I'm playing Ultimate Team because you lose out on contracts and things like that. Although when it comes to career mode, I feel as though it's important you use your substitutions, and especially when the CPU uses substitutions, you have to watch out because it does tend to give them a little bit more life, and some poor defending leads to an easy shot on target. But fortunately my keeper managed to parry away, and there was no danger there. Also guys, I would just like to say that I do have a bit of a cold going on, a bit of a blocked nose, so if I sound a little different, then my apologies. Hopefully it goes away pretty soon. But a nice through ball and a really poor effort on goal. It's important that you at least challenge the keeper. A lot of the times, at least if you challenge the keeper, it forces them to make a save, and if they don't manage to hold on to it, a lot of the times you'll find that the ball will run into your player's path, and you can often pick up a goal if you get a little bit lucky. But a decent strike there from the Middlesbrough side, and Middlesbrough were actually a really good team. I did, like I said, I felt a little bit I felt as though I was in control for the majority of it, although I do feel as though there's some great chances. For example, right there, I maybe should have conceded there, but it wasn't meant to be. Middlesbrough were not born to score in that particular instance, so I was quite lucky. But like I said, there were a lot of chances where they could have easily at least equalized with me. But the old age pensioner streams ahead and plays this through ball through to Matic, and Matic's pace is just fantastic, and that left a player right in the middle of the box, as you guys can see. But unfortunately Matic wasn't able to get to it quick enough, and that's just the way it was. But a fantastic goal from Junior Oilet, who is definitely a player I need to get involved in the first team more often. I feel as though I suppose you could say I've been neglecting him a little bit. I do definitely need to start him a little bit more. But there's the Capital One Cup result. Nothing too crazy going on there. There was a lot of fixtures. You guys can go back and check them out. But the news decided to say that Cisse pulled out a top drawer performance, and there was no doubt that his goal was fantastic. And a few worries as Jose Bazingwa form worries me, and in all honesty, there was I feel as though I should keep him there, but nevertheless, we had Tottenham as my next game. The QPR board shot me over some emails, and they gave me an additional transfer budget of £1,900, I think that was, and that's really not going to make too much of a difference. It might afford maybe a sandwich for one of the first team footballers, but that's about it. And moving on, like I said, we have Spurs, who are currently 5th in the league. They've played 3, they've got 7 points out of that, and they're definitely in contention for a top 4 spot. So this sort of fixture was always going to be really tough, and it's away at White Hart Lane. and it was, you know, these sort of fixtures are always going to be a tough one. They had a pretty strong side. Adebayor didn't start for them, which was quite strange. I really thought he would have, but it seems they've decided to put Defoe ahead of Adebayor in the starting 11. And another thing is that they have Sigurdsson there, who, you know, was a possible Liverpool target, but they Tottenham beat them to it. And it's the man himself who bags himself a fantastic goal to put them 1-up, and that was just a well-executed goal. Take nothing away from him. And that put them 1-0 up in the 17th minute, and an early goal like that is alright. I much prefer an early 1-0 goal like that instead of it being quite late on in the game. At least it gave me some time to, you know, challenge and at least try and make it 1-1. But a few more chances. Tottenham were definitely dominant throughout this entire game. My defending definitely left some holes for the team, and I'm surprised they didn't go 2-0 up there, especially as it hit the bar. But Sigurdsson just seemed to be pulling all the strings for Spurs, and there's some halftime results. Chelsea were 2-1 up there, and as you'd expect, especially at home to Stoke City. But as we expected, Adebayor comes on for Defoe, and Adebayor in this game has not a lot of pace. He's quite a slow player, but reminds me a lot of Lukaku. And then they made another substitution, and it was the goal scorer Sigurdsson who comes off for Huddlestone. And like I was saying earlier, I definitely do need to start doing some more substitutions mid-game, because I do feel as though it is important. It can definitely be some sort of game changer. So come January transfer window, I'm definitely going to be looking to deepen my squad, that's for sure. But full-time results, Chelsea went on to beat Stoke 4-1, which is a bit of a big result for them. And unfortunately, just Stoke kind of got battered there, which is a bit of a shame. But moving on, September 23rd of the team, Graham is the top goal scorer, Gomez just underneath him, and Juan Mata just underneath him as well. Also, Campbell is a little bit disappointed that he's not getting played more often, so I thought, you know, he has got quite a bit of potential, and I felt as though it was necessary I'd start to involve him a little bit more, because he was actually already in the, he was only in the reserves, so I feel as though young players like that should definitely be given a chance, and I kind of, it was kind of my own managerial mistake. I didn't, you know, take a full advantage. I didn't look into the squad enough, and it was definitely a mistake that I made by leaving him out so much. But as you guys can see, Junior Hoylett's still on the bench. I do look to involve him more in the first team plans, but as you guys saw, I just took Wright Phillips, who just isn't doing too well for me at the moment. I decided to swap him out for Mr. Campbell even. But that's it for me, guys. On your right, there's a squad building episode. On your left is the previous career mode video, if you guys haven't already caught up and check that out. But that'd be awesome if you guys could watch that. Also, feel free to get this to 2,000 likes, and I'll upload my squad builder for you all. And yeah, that's good. This next squad builder is actually quite affordable, and definitely a team that is out of this world. So enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and be sure to leave a like. I'll catch you all later. Bye bye.